Hello, Music of the Future. I'm Sad Cypress, and thank you for having me talk about my new EP, Princess of Cups. So, Princess of Cups is a multidisciplinary release. So, it not only includes music, it's also got a story accompanying it. So, there is an arc across the songs with the story as a kind of turning point. So the way that it's sort of birthed itself has been very interesting. I wrote the story not having any thoughts about it accompanying music. It was just an experiment in writing a short story. At some point, it occurred to me that it would go along with a song that I wrote a long time ago. So that song was The Other Side, which was recorded when I was a teenager. That seemed to be like a statement of a problem. The other side being a kind of metaphor for not being able to express yourself and feeling very shut off, basically. And it used water as a metaphor, and there seemed to be a link between not only going into your own feelings and experiences, but that also somehow leading to being able to express yourself. So that problem gets solved in the story Princess of Cups, which is right here. The last part of the EP is kind of like post solution, so it's a lot nicer and gentler. So the recording process has been split up into two, basically. So there was recording that first track as a teenager, which was on an 8-track. It was one of the first things that I kind of finished recording, the first proper song, I think. The first or second proper song that I really completed. And it was just recording using like a friend's karaoke mic, like just using everything like on board of this 8-track that I had, a digital 8-track. I didn't have any production like knowledge other than just playing around with what was in the settings, and all things considered, I think I did a pretty good job. And then these later songs, I now have like a little kind of setup. You can see I've got a microphone there, I've got monitors here. They've been recorded in the last couple of months or so here using Logic on a Mac. So a lot more to play with, which in some ways makes it more difficult actually, because at least when you've got very limited resources, you don't get into that sort of option paralysis, which I can find quite difficult. I seem to be getting better. So clearly, like, one of those songs was written a long time ago. All of these songs actually have been written separately. So I've been recording them, the rest of them, very recently, but they've all been written over the course of the last few years. And all entirely separately. So it was kind of, this realization that all of these water-themed songs can go together, and that they just naturally made this very very logical arc that went perfectly with the story. It was like jigsaw pieces slotting together. Each song I write, they just kind of seem to happen. Like I'll just have an instrument, usually my guitar, one of them is on the lyre harp and one of them's on the keyboard as well. And that generally seems to be how I write songs. It will be one day with an instrument, and rather than playing something I know, an old song I've written or someone else's song, I'll just start playing and something will come out. I kind of know when I've got a new song, like I can sort of improvise for a bit and nothing will grab me. And then there'll be like a melody, like, yes, that's it. That's the beginning of something new. And then I just follow it. And they tend to have kind of an inbuilt length. And a lot of the, two of the tracks on this are very short. I can't explain it other than like that's what they are. That's how long they are. If I added more, it would just it's just not what they wanted to be. So yeah, for this release as well, it has been more collaborative than anything I've done before. I've been producing everything myself, but I have had lessons and consultation, I guess, with a producer, Ben Hughes, who was based in Cardiff and has now moved, I can't remember exactly where, but I'm still working with him remotely, and that's really helped me to learn how to think like a producer, because there are just suggestions that hadn't crossed my mind, and it seems more of a spatial way of looking at music, and I think I'm starting to get to grips with that. So I'm very grateful for that, because my production on Logic had really been lacking. I'm also getting things professionally mastered by myriad Hailstone, who's also in Cardiff. Plus, I've had the cover for the EP professionally designed by Giando Barbera. So plus the kind of multidisciplinary aspect of writing, obviously, but also creating my own simple graphics. That is something I want to explore more, and I see a lot of scope for involving a lot more collaborators in much more ambitious projects. I think it could be quite exciting. I haven't explained too much detail about exactly what the story arc is, I suppose because I would rather people go and listen to it rather than kind of having it spoiled. The best place to find it is Bandcamp. There you can get the download plus the zine and a couple of stickers that I've made to go alongside it. I probably will release a few songs on streaming for promotional purposes. But Bandcamp really is the best place at the moment to get like the full thing. And in the fullness of time, I am going to be collating my sort of social media posts, onto my website, so you can kind of have the full overview of everything that I've made relating to it, and like with reels and posts relating to each of the songs. So yes, that is my EP, Princess of Cups, coming very soon. I'm Sad Cypress, and thank you very much for having me.